Thomas Paine, Thomas Paine, Thomas Paine, Sam Adams, Sam Adams, Sam Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Benjamin Franklin, Benjamin Franklin. These men spoke up for what they thought was right. From their courage came such documents as the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States. From their willingness to speak what was sometimes unpopular but right, we enjoy such liberties as freedom of speech, the right to keep and bear arms, and freedom of religion. There are those who still wish to oppress our freedoms, and there are still patriots willing to stand up and defend life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Men like Zeb Bell, who honor our founding fathers and what they stood for. It's now time for Zeb at the ranch, speaking up and defending your freedoms. Brought to you by Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers and all of the other great advertisers on the program. And now, Zeb Bell.
Here was a billboard for anti-smoking in Virginia. I love this one. Quote, "Smoking won't send you to hell. It'll just make you smell like you've been there." I love that. Morning, everybody. Here comes Kate Smith and God Bless America, followed by a patriot to call in with our Pledge of Allegiance. Come on, patriots, get on the phone. Oh, good morning on a beautiful morning out there. It is Thursday, September 6th. Zeb at the ranch, I'm Zeb Bell. Yes, sir, Bobby, good morning. It's another late night last night and early morning this morning. With our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations with a great big fall tire sale going on right now. And, of course, some of our great advertisers like Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley, helping you get back to being you. Let's go to the phone line right now and have our Pledge of Allegiance. Good morning.
Well, good morning.
Oh, you?
Yeah, I figured I'd do it this morning to help you out.
All right, buddy. Go ahead, please.
All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, buddy. And right now, K&R Rental brings you the weather. 256 South, 600 west of Hebron. Right there, smack dab. Easy to find, easy to see on the Burley-Paul Highway. And they've got the best of tools and equipment for you. And they're a proud distributor of the Skag lawnmowers, too. U.S.-made lawnmowers. I'll tell you what, get over there and check it out. And it's time to till up those gardens. Rent a tiller from K&R. Roger and the crew get there early in the morning at 7 a.m. K&R Rental on the Burley-Paul Highway, 678-3122. And right now, here's the weather. Here's the weather.
I apologize, sir. I'm trying to get it to play, but it seems like our system must have not loaded it.
Well, please get that taken care of and let me know in a very few minutes that you have it ready, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Once again, we want to say thank you to our friends at K&R Rental, 256 South, 600 west of Hebron. They did not bring you the weather this morning. They didn't bring anything yet, but I'm going to give them a great big plug and say they've got the best of tools and equipment, and they're ready to serve you. Right there on the Burley-Paul Highway, 678-3122, K&R Rental. You better tell me you've got Merv May ready to go. Let's hear what he has to say. Go with it. Wheels, where are you over there, buddy? Hello, Wheels. Come on, buddy.
I apologize, sir. I was just talking to...
I don't care what you're doing. Come on, let's get Merv May going. Here we go.
All right, he gets the steer calves there. Here to get all 31, 1 31.
Oh, that's the chant of the world's best auctioneer, and that's Merv May over at the Burley Livestock Sale Yard, 1100 Occidental Avenue in Burley. The number to call, 678-9411. The sale that works for you. Merv May, Cade Rogge, Lance Udy, all there, and today is sale day starting at 10:30. We've got a ripping good sale today. They've got cattle coming down from the HD Bun Ranch at Driggs, Idaho, a semi my load of mixed cattle. Larry and Carlene Hathaway. Hello, Hathaways over at Shoshone. 75 head of good mixed cattle. Kirk Dahl. Yes, sirree. Known him for a long time down there in the good-looking country of Ruby Valley, Nevada. 25 head of 500-pounders. Doug Ward up at Elmo's bringing in 30 head of 750-pound yearlings. Tom Gary. I'll tell you what, that is a good guy up there at Albion. 25 head of mixed calves and yearlings. And the Mooview Dairy bringing in 45 head of 700 to 900-pound Holstein steers. Butcher cows coming in from Funk Dairy, Acme Dairy, Antelope Hills Dairy, and P-Bar S Dairy. And there is just a partial look at some of the cattle going through the ring today at the Burley Livestock Sale Yard. 1100 Occidental Avenue in Burley. And the number to call for cattle consignments and sale information, 678-9411. Merv, sell those steers.
All right, a good set of steer calves there. Here to get $31, 1.5, 31, 1.5, 32, 2.5, 3.5, 134, 4.5, 5.5, 5.5, 130, 550, 135, and $7.35. Zeb Bell, get the bottom again.
And thank you much. Wheels, do we have that weather forecast ready to go?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's have it. Thank you.
Possible thunderstorms are expected by early this evening. Here's a look at your weather forecast for Zeb at the Ranch. Looking at mostly sunny skies for today. Clouds are going to be rolling in by this afternoon, bringing along with it a possibility of some isolated showers and thunderstorms. Some of those storms could produce gusty winds. Mostly sunny skies. High of 90 is what we're looking at. And for tonight, isolated showers and thunderstorms possible before midnight. Gusty winds as high as about 30 miles an hour. Expecting a low of 54 tomorrow. Sunny skies with a high of 87, overnight low of 54 by Saturday, mostly sunny and 85. And as we look ahead towards Sunday, mostly sunny and 80. That's your weather for Zeb at the Ranch.
Thank you very much, Gina, and brought to you a real long weather forecast this morning by K&R Rental over in Heyburn. Thank you very much. Holy cow, we got a big day today. We've got the Chamber Report, Cassia Regional Hospital, Rita Ramsey with our political update as to what's happened over the last week. And, of course, on Cassia County School Days today, we're going to have Superintendent Jim Shank, the head man's going to be on here this morning. And then at 10:30, old George Mass going to be on the program here in the studio. Want to remind you, too, let's see, what else have we got? Zollinger Quarter Horse Ranch is going to have their big annual production sale this Saturday. Now, you don't want to miss this because you're going to be seeing some outstanding colts and fillies. 30th annual production sale Saturday, September 8th, this weekend on Saturday. Preview at 10 o'clock, sale at 11, up at the ranch in Oakley at 1994 South, 100 east of Oakley. I'm talking about colts with conformation, disposition, performance, color. They're ready for you. Stop up to that sale this weekend. Don't you miss it. For more information, call my buddy Jerry at 670-3833. Zollinger Quarter Horse Ranch production sale this Saturday. Don't miss it. And before we start taking phone calls, I want to remind you, too, about our friends at Ramsey Heating and Electric. And I really do appreciate everything they do, not only for us on the radio, but then also for you. Almost 6 decades. Wow. 6 decades of being in service to you with all your heating, cooling, and electrical needs. Please get a hold of them today at 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley. They're open at 7:30 in the morning till 5, Monday through Friday. 678-0459, Ramsey Heating and Electric, where they provide warm winters and cool summers. I tell you what, the revolving door for the protesters. Yesterday, we talked quite a bit about the Kavanaugh hearing. And yesterday, there were a lot of callers that were wondering what takes place when they drag these silly fools, which they are, out of the hearing room. What happens then? Well, I understand from some of the sources I've talked to, they get a $50 fine. And guess what? Hark. The money is being paid by an outside source. And here was the thing that just absolutely blew my mind, and they were talking about it on the news this morning at 4:30. These fools that are basically paid protesters, they are removed from the hearing chambers, and then later, and somebody has got to explain to me why they're allowed to get back in line and why they're allowed to come back into the Senate chambers again. Later, some of the same protesters came back, and they were in the chambers disrupting again. Now, you go to a ball game, and you do something, you get thrown out. You ain't coming back. I mean, you've had it, my friend. You're not coming back. Why in the world, in politics, one of the most ridiculous games in the world, quite frankly, the way it's been run the last 25, 30 years especially, why would they allow these protesters to come back into the Senate chambers and disrupt again? And some had cell phones, smartphones, in their hand, and just prior to their acting up and proving that they are really not real bright people inside the Senate hearing, they received texts. And basically it was a coordinated effort of, yep, your turn over there, Ralphie, act stupid. This is absolutely insane. And it lets them spring into their craziness. A $50 fine, and then they leave or are escorted out, and then they come back later. And here's another funny thing that I found out about. Some of the nincompoops that are standing out on the street holding the signs, oh, we can't have Kavanaugh, Kavanaugh's bad, don't let Kavanaugh on the Supreme Court and everything. They went around and they asked some of these people why they had feelings against Kavanaugh. And some of the people looked right at the camera and said into the microphone, I don't know, I haven't got anything against him, I was just told to carry this sign. Oh, there's some real bright ones out there that are being paid protesters, and they haven't got a clue what they're talking about. Calls welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Break the ice, make the first call, give me a call, please. Denny's Restaurant, 611 North Overland in Burley. I just love going in there. Thomas and the crew, they are such nice people, and they have treated us so kindly over the many, many years. We've been over there for lunch bunch. Oh, I'm telling you, the food is great. The people are wonderful. You're going to have a great time, whether it's breakfast, lunch, and or dinner. Anytime, all the time at Denny's Restaurant. And it's true. They really are America's diner. And they've got another location at 291 Pole Line Road in Twin Falls. Denny's Restaurant in Burley, the home of Zeb's Lunch Bunch. We really appreciate them. By the way, let me see, I got to make a little check mark there so I don't forget. I also want to acknowledge our dear, dear friends at Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation. And they're located at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley. Oh my. As a matter of fact, it's on my little log today to take care of. I got to make a scheduled appointment over there to start up again so I can have them help me with my old knee and my leg. And I tell you what, they've done a great job for me over the years. The best of exercises and, of course, the use of that hydrotherapy pool. Oh, with the best of physical therapists headed up by Nick Greenwell. Yep. When I'm talking good, I'm talking the best right here. Serving you and helping you get back to being you. Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation, 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley, 678-1191. Your turn. Give me a call, please, 436-2244. I really was interested in one aspect of the Senate hearings yesterday because it kind of hit me broadside. You know how you're listening but not really listening and you're doing something else and then all of a sudden, what? What did he say? Well, Senator Sheldon Whitehouse of Rhode Island, a Democrat naturally, brought up a group of lawyers that have been and are on my program in a consistent manner. The Pacific Legal Foundation. For some reason, the Democrats really don't like PLF, the Pacific Legal Foundation. And they were really asking Kavanaugh a lot of questions about that. I cannot wait. I've got to call in right now as we speak to Colin, not Kaepernick, Colin Kavanaugh, that is the head of the media relations for PLF, Pacific Legal Foundation, and I can't wait to find out when they can come on so we can find out why the Democrats absolutely hate Pacific Legal Foundation. We're going to find out. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Zeb. You know, I've been guilty of changing the subject, and I apologize for that, but could I say something about the president being excoriated anonymously?
Well, wait a minute. Keith, let's do this in the proper fashion. Let's just go ahead and say what is happening back there, that you don't have a clue as to what's happening, nor do I, nor does the news media. Somebody or some groups of somebodies, or quite frankly nobodies, within the administration are working to basically bring down and hurt and vilify the Trump administration with leaks and also op-eds that have appeared in various newspapers, and they're anonymous, which I find to be the most cowardly thing that you can do. And that brings you up to your point, so go ahead.
Okay. First of all, I think anonymous things are just not fair. And I want to give you an example of that. Years ago, the Weekly Mailer used to come out with all kinds of inflammatory things.
Yep.
And I went to the publisher, and I liked that that paper, but I did not like the way it is presented in there. People can say inflammatory things about somebody, and nobody knows who it is.
Well, see, they came after me in that publication, Keith. They came after me with some stupid letters that were poorly worded, if worded at all. And I also went after the reason as to why they were allowing the secrecy and this anonymity, because it only breeds more contempt for the situation. If you have people that'll sign their name and people that'll stand up for what they believe in, you can settle almost any issue if you can have a confrontation face-to-face to discuss the issues. But when you have backstabbers that are worthless people that won't sign names or identify who they are, they shouldn't even be allowed the ink.
That's right. And this is what I told the editor of the paper, Jay Lankensdorfer, is the fact that if you cannot have people sign their name to these inflammatory statements, I will no longer advertise with you. And it went on for a few years until the day I closed my business, and I never did advertise again. Now, you can call that boycotting or whatever you want, but that's the way I believe.
Well,
when you attack somebody, you step up to the plate.
Yeah, but you're kind of leading off first base, and you might get picked off here, so be careful. I want to relate this just to what happened with the presidency and not a personal business. So let's keep it in that vein this morning. And the vein is that there are some absolutely ne'er-do-wells inside this administration that want to hurt him. There are people that want to be kind of like a conspiracy theory against him inside the administration. I find it detestable when they won't sign their name or say who they are.
It all goes back to the New York Times.
Yep.
They should have the guts not to publish such an anonymous statement.
Absolutely. I could not agree more, and it's all part of trash media. It really is trash media. Keith, I've got another call waiting. God bless you for your thoughts this morning. Thank you so much.
I hope I've made myself clear.
No, I think as clear as ever. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Caller, I'll be right there. Don't go away. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. You might need the get-out-of-jail-free card, but I'll be right with you. Gary Tussey auctions coming up this Saturday, put on by the Bennett Boys Auction Service. It's going to be in Hagerman at 370 West Springs Street. Look for the signs. You can't miss it. It's going to be a great, great sale. They're going to have pickups and ATVs and trailers and guns and sporting items. Holy cow, lawn and garden items, Toro riding lawnmower, antique furniture like a neat oak roll-top desk, furniture, household items, all of this at the Gary Tussey auction this coming Saturday at 11 o'clock in Hagerman. Look for the signs, managed by the Bennett Boys Auction Service, Joe Bennett and the crew. No sale too big, no sale too small. The Bennett Boys, they sell them all. Caller, good morning, you're on the air.
Yeah, that letter that the New York Times got from one of the members of our legislature or administration, did it really come from the administration or did somebody else just write it? I could write the same thing, send it to him, and tell him lie about it.
Well, George, that's just it. Why even publish it if it's anonymous and you don't really know where or who it came from? I get unsigned letters all the time. And you know what I do with them? I read the letter and then throw it in the trash. Whether they're condemning me, whether they're going to come after me, whether they're threatening me, or whether they say, well, you need to do this, you need to do that, and they don't have the guts to sign their name, they go into the burning barrel.
Yeah, the media's making a big deal of it's coming within Trump's administration. That's speculation. Nobody knows. There's probably a 50-50 chance it didn't.
Well, I'll tell you what, the way the liberals are today, and let's be specific, the Democrats, and they will do anything out of hate to get rid of this presidency. You know as well as I do, my dear friend, that the sky's the limit and the bottom of the barrel's not deep enough for what they'll do.
Yep, it's all about themselves and their agenda. It's not about the people, our Constitution, or America.
I agree with you. By the way, are you going to be here at 10:30 this morning?
Yes, sir. Me and Mr. Strunk.
Okay, well, I really am surprised, and I am taken aback somewhat by the fact that you're out of bed this morning. Thank you.
I've been getting up 4 o'clock in the morning dehydrating apples for the last 2 weeks.
Doing what? Doing what?
Dehydrating apples.
Okay. Have a good day, George.
All right, sir.
See you later. Caller, I'll be right there. Don't forget Stoats Equipment Company, your John Deere dealer. I'm really high on these folks. They do a tremendous job. They make your life easier. At 119 Overland and Burley, your John Deere dealer. And I'll tell you what, I love my John Deere. And I think the people there are phenomenal. Stoats Equipment Company, your John Deere dealer. And they bring you Ag Minutes on Tuesday at 9:46. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. Thank you.
Good morning, and this is a yummy man from the Senior Citizens. This is the facts, and I'll sign my name to it.
Okay.
We're going to have yummy beef stroganoff today, assorted vegetables, and desserts.
And what kind of yummy dessert, Mr. Taylor, are you talking about?
Well, I couldn't find out. It's a secret, but it'll be good. Tomorrow, we're having beef cheese nachos, mixed vegetables, and watermelon for dessert.
Okay.
Fresh out of somebody's patch. I didn't coon it either. They brought it in.
Now, let me ask you this. If you have a no-named dessert, is that kind of like an anonymous dessert, an anonymous letter or whatever? Do we have to be concerned about that anonymous dessert?
No, I'll sign my name to it.
Okay. It's Taylor's Delight. That's the name of it.
Have a good one. I appreciate it.
All right, Joe. God bless you, man.
I'll be on next week, so you'll miss me, but I'll be back following week.
All right, buddy. Have a yummy week off.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Caller number 2, you're on the air. Go for it.
Well, good morning, Zeb. Isn't Joe such a good guy? He's a neat guy, isn't he?
He's one of my... I just have the total respect for Joe Taylor.
I think he's a pretty good guy also. What I called about this morning was I kind of feel like maybe this darn New York Times, maybe they're the ones who wrote this stuff. They don't want anybody to know who did because they did it. They don't like President Trump. Why not cause him some trouble?
Now, let me stop you right there and give you an A for effort on thinking about this, because who knows? You might be 1,000% right because of the hatred and animus that they have against the Trump administration with the New York Times. You could be 100% right, but this solidifies the fact, and I bet you it's happened to you in your life, where you get anonymous complaints or anonymous letters or whatever, people that don't have the nerve, the backbone, the spine, or the courage to sign their name.
Well, yeah, that happens. But I guess my point was, I think that some people are just, I think that for the major part of people, I think they like President Trump.
Yeah.
And I think our big problem is with the media.
I will never argue with you on that point. I think the media is one of the biggest traitors to America today. Would you go along with that?
I sure would.
All right, sir. It's good to hear from you. Thanks for your call this morning.
Well, you're so welcome.
You call back. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you and have a wonderful weekend. Thank you. Caller number 2, here's the deal. I got to do one quick commercial, and then I promise that you're coming up next. Don't forget Barry Equipment and Rental, Sales, Service, and Parts. Now, we've had Old Juan on the program many times at 159 West Highway 30 in Burley, and the other location at 465 Addison Avenue West in Twin Falls with Eli, and the Napa location. They've got the big, tough equipment, the Doosan loaders and everything, and they've got all the Bobcat excavators. When you want equipment, you want to talk to people that really absolutely can help you, and they will help you learn how to run the equipment out in a great big sandbox they got out behind the business. They want you to go home, get the job done, and understand what you're doing. Absolutely. For sale and for rent. Don't forget Barry Equipment and Rental, Sales, Service, and Parts, Burley, Twin Falls, and Napa. Caller, good morning, and thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
How are you?
Good. Now, no military term. If you're receiving a lot of flack, you're probably over the target.
I like that.
And that's what happened with President Trump.
Yep.
I mean, they're ratcheting it up. And so I have a feeling that he's over the target. And he's talking about declassifying those 20 pages.
Yep.
People are shaking in their boots back there.
And they should be.
Here's a shiny object. Follow this.
Yep. Let me say this, and I don't give a rip if people like me or not on the radio, Doug. I got to be honest, and I'm never going to lie to you. I honestly believe that because Trump is not a politician, Trump is a businessman. Trump knows the bottom line. He knows how to get the profit on the bottom line. And Washington absolutely is so used to the backslapping, here, I'll scratch yours if you'll scratch mine attitude, that this is a shakeup, and there is so much hatred on both sides of the aisles against this man, they will do and recruit anyone to bring him down.
Exactly, because he is exposing the frauds that they have committed on the American people for decades.
Yeah.
And he's exposing it. He is saying, hey, these guys have been lying to you. These guys have been using you, living off of your tax dollars. And they don't need to.
Yeah.
This is how it can work. It can work at a good speed. It can work like they call it Trump speed back there.
Yeah.
I mean, if he had his way, and if he had Congress, a Republican Congress, and a Republican Senate that was even 90 or 80% on board with all of his policies, we'd be probably at a 6% growth rate.
I can't argue that. You know, and then you listen to the Botox queen of the entire Congress, Nancy Pelosi, and she came out. I want to run this by you because this absolutely is incendiary. This made me so mad. I just jumped up in the air and I thought, holy cow. And then I remembered I'm on crutches and I fell on the floor. But I could not believe how dumb this woman is. She said that Judge Kavanaugh, believes that Trump is above the law. Now, with these hearings going on, and the way he's conducted himself, and I've listened to about 80% of the hearings and his answers, I haven't heard anything that would intimate that Judge Kavanaugh, thinks that our current president is above the law. Why does she say such stupid things?
Well, first off, she's a Democrat.
Duh.
Second off, they have no plan. They have no direction that they want to take this country. The only direction they want to take this country is in socialism.
And down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The only direction they want to take this country, they want to turn us into a third world nation so they can bring about a one world government.
You know, when you start analyzing what's going on, Doug, and think about this, and I know the women out there are going to go, oh, you sexist! But think about the Cynthia Nixons of New York. Think about the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortezes. Think about the new problem they've got down in New Mexico with Deborah Haaland. It's women that are assigning themselves to a socialist Democrat party, and I'm really concerned about that. Are you?
Yes, I am. And these people that are doing that have basically no idea what socialism is about because they were not taught true and honest history when they were growing up.
This new one, this Deborah Haaland down in New Mexico, I'm telling you, this person is, okay, I'm going to rate her on a scare scale, 8. I'm scared of her. You know why? Because she is supposedly a native-born Indian in this country, lives down in New Mexico, running for a congressional seat, and her main mantra is to go with no borders. Anybody and everybody can come into this country and abolish ICE. Now, with that kind of absolute down-the-toilet thinking, our country's in trouble.
Well, my question back to her would be, do you lock your doors at night? When you park your car in a parking lot and you go shopping, do you lock it?
But why is this kind of an attitude, though? And it seems like, look at Cynthia Nixon. She's a former actress that was never really that good, but now she's running in politics. And then look at Cortez and the rest of them. Why is it that females seem to be going to the forefront right now for socialism on the Democratic side? I do not understand where this push is coming from or how they're being recruited.
That's an interesting deal. I'd like to follow the money. Because that one senator was trying to nail Kavanaugh down about, this big money coming in and picking this and picking that. But yet he was a Democrat, but yet he never mentioned any one of the many Soros sponsored organizations that is against our country like it is, that want to take it into a socialist country.
Yeah, and the Cynthia Nixon, she's got the combined IQ of a bicycle spoke. She was asked, I think it was yesterday or the day before, well, now, listen, if you win the governorship, how do you propose about health insurance? And she said, well, that's easy, she said. I have a plan for health care in this country. We pass for the money, and then we build it afterwards. Oh, that's a great way to do it.
Yeah, we pass it now and then figure out how to finance it later.
Yeah, we've heard that from Pelosi and some of the other ones, and quite frankly, that boat sunk.
And how did that work out for the American people?
Yeah, no kidding. Doug, God bless.
$2,500 a month savings, and you can keep your doctor and keep your plan. Yeah.
Well, I tell you, though, when you think about what's going on, I really highlight this New Mexico deal. I do not know if you got up early enough to catch it, but they had the Republican opponent to this Deborah Holland that's running on the Democratic ticket or the lefty commie ticket, and she said that, quite frankly, the Republican opponent, said that she is very concerned about her state of New Mexico because with the open borders, no arrest type attitude, the crime rate in New Mexico has skyrocketed.
Yes. You take the crime rate in Chicago, you take the crime rate in L.A., and it's scary because these people are protecting these illegals.
Yep.
If they commit a crime, they turn them back onto the street.
Yep.
I mean, they don't give a dang about the American citizen, the ones who's paying the taxes and paying their wages.
Well, amen to that. Amen to that. I've got to run. I got another call, but I know you've got a 10. I'm cutting you back to 10 seconds this morning. A 10-second spiel, you're on.
All right. Everybody, let's do what we can for our senior centers. Remember, they built this country. They took care of us as we were growing up. Now it's time to take care of them in their time of need.
Well done. Well done, my friend. Thank you, Doug. Hey, by the way, I went by and honked at your business yesterday.
I wasn't here.
I think that's terrible. Thank you. Have a good day. Okay, see you later. Caller number 2, I'm going to ask you to stay there. Don't go away. I'll be right there, I promise. Zollinger Quarter Horse Ranch Production Sale 30th Annual coming up this Saturday. Don't forget, preview at 10 o'clock. Beautiful place up there at the ranch, 1994 South, 100 east of Oakley. Sale time at 11 o'clock. The best of Colts and Fillies, confirmation, disposition, performance, and a lot of color. I mean, these are great Colts and Fillies. You need to get up there and be at that sale. For more information, contact Jerry at 670-3833. Zollinger Quarter Horse Ranch Production Sale this Saturday. Don't miss it. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
You know, my dad used to say, you're old enough to know better. Well, I'm going to tell you, we're a land of fools, and the good people are getting their butt kicked by poor, foolish leaders and the people that listen to them. Just like the DA from Boston who wants to legalize shoplifting. No, it wouldn't be legal, but it wouldn't be illegal. It wouldn't be illegal to sell drugs. Low-level drug dealers would be allowed to do it.
Wait. Randy, just a minute. When you see things and hear things like this, does this not remind you of what the Bible told us in so many different passages about the end times and the filth and the greed and the absolute crime and everything else? People aren't aware of what's really going on.
Well, they don't care, and they're so distracted by whatever it is, selfishness. You know, everybody's on their phone. I mean, let's face it. You go someplace and you want to scream at them and say, do you know anything besides that stupid phone? Did you ever put that thing down? I tell you what, I just want to scream. I tell you what, I just want to wing mine across the road into the building because I'm sick of them. But you see, it's part of our life, and we have to have it. This is business.
Yeah.
I don't do anything but business on this phone, and I call in on these radio programs. But
wait a minute. I didn't like the inference there. And, Wheels, we got feedback on the line. Watch the feedback. These radio programs. Watch it, Buckwheat.
It's good for me. It's therapy to call in and get it off my chest. I wish more people would just, throw caution to the wind and just let us know how they feel.
I do, too.
A lot of people listen, but they don't call. And, heck, I'd like to hear their opinion. I'd like to hear what they have to say.
A lot of it comes back, and again, Wheels, we got feedback here on the line. Address that, please. A lot of people will call me after the program or in the afternoon hours or in the evening hours, and they'll say this, you should have said this, you got to get this guy on the air. The only thing I wish they would do is really think about my time. I'm on the air. I ask for calls. They can call in while I'm on the air 3 hours every day, Monday through Thursday. And then when they call in the evening and they go on and on and on, you know, I got some family time I'd like to have too.
Well, that's the thing. See, we all have an opinion, but some of us are shy. And the thing of it is, you know, let's face it, through the years I have made a fool of myself numerous times, and I know it. But I think people are forgiving, and they understand, and you know, so it's all right. But the thing of it is we need people. I worry about whether or not our kids are going to know better. You know, if you don't know anything, how are you going to make the right decision?
Amen. You know, I got to get a weather forecast in here, and then I've got to call. But, Randy, I agree with you. Thank you so much. Good guy.
Hey,
good guy.
Tonight, we got a football game coming.
Well, here's my philosophy on that. If I see the national anthem on television tonight before that game, and if I see any of these overpaid, underworked prima donnas take a knee or sit down, I'm not going to watch it.
Think of it this way. If my son was playing football and he had that, just even a fraction of some of this money, you know, would it make him better? Would he care? Would he ever have to work again? I don't know, Zeb. I don't know. I just know this. When I asked my sons if I would have gave them more things and had more money, would it have made them better? And they all said no.
Yeah. I agree with you. Randy, I thank you very much for your call as always. Thank you. Now, caller number 2, you're part of the plan here this morning. You got to hang tough, hang fire just for a second. I'll be right with you, I promise. I've got to get this weather in, and the weather brought to you by Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids. Don't forget, they're right behind the Minidoka Hospital, across from the emergency room, and they are dedicated. I mean this. They're really wonderful people, dedicated to serving people with hearing loss of all ages and their families. They help me. They can help you. Number to call, make an appointment, 312-0957. That number again, 312-0957. Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids. Here is the weather.
Possible thunderstorms are expected by early this evening. Here's a look at your weather forecast for Zeb at the Ranch. Looking at mostly sunny skies for today. Clouds are going to be rolling in by this afternoon, bringing along with it a possibility of some isolated showers and thunderstorms. Some of those storms could produce gusty winds. Mostly sunny skies. High of 90 is what we're looking at. And for tonight, isolated showers and thunderstorms possible before midnight. Gusty winds as high as about 30 miles an hour, expecting a low of 54. Tomorrow, sunny skies with a high of 87, overnight low of 54 by Saturday, mostly sunny and 85. And as we look ahead towards Sunday, mostly sunny and 80. That's your weather for Zeb at the Ranch.
Well done, Gina. Thank you. And the weather brought to you this hour by Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids. And they've got all the latest of testing technocracy and great people. I'll tell you, Dr. Pickup and Dr. Mitchell, serving you at Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids, 312-0957. Caller, you've been patient. Good morning. God bless. Have a good day. Come on, talk to me right now.
Hi, Zeb. You know, I was thinking through all of this, that as you were talking about particularly the protesters at the Kavanaugh hearing, how this is all staged and they're being paid for by an outside source, and people are holding up signs, and they don't know why. They're just doing it because they're being told to. Man, what a mentality. And the people who are protesting, you know, that they were hauling down in New Mexico and so forth. Maybe one of the best ways to fight this, if we could just get more and more people listening, is to expose what these people are doing.
Well, I totally agree with you, but, you know, what's interesting to me, I got to ask you this. You are a very sweet lady, very well educated, very well versed. What would possess somebody, honestly, Linda, tell me this, to take whatever the money was it $20, $30, $50, $75? I have no idea. And stand around all day long carrying a sign. I mean, I've got a lot of better things to do with my time and my efforts than stand there and carry a sign that I have no feeling for one way or the other. This is ridiculous.
That's what's so frightening. What kind of mentality are we dealing with in this country?
Yeah, and these people, they act like they never read Ned in the first grade reader because they were asked, this one guy, they said, well, how come you're carrying this sign? What are your feelings about Judge Kavanaugh? And he goes, well, I really don't know. I was just told to stand here and hold this sign. Oh, boy, America's in trouble, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, you know what bothers me is if this is how people are thinking, what chance do we have of governing ourselves as we were supposed to be able to do back a couple of 100 years ago or so, when people felt that, people could govern themselves in a thoughtful manner.
You know, that is a great
demonstrate that.
That is a great point you just brought up. Wouldn't it be interesting if there could be a reincarnation of James Madison, Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, whatever, and let them stand there on the street corner and watch and listen to guys like, well, I don't know, somebody just told me to hold this sign. What would they think about America 250 years later?
It saddens me, and I wonder if, again, part of that, I think, is that our children are not being taught way back there in the beginning what was going on.
I agree.
Teaching them to be thoughtful people who can discipline and govern themselves.
Mm-hmm.
This is scary. I don't know. If we have a mentality like this, it'll take us down faster than anything.
Amen. Linda, it is such a treat to hear from you. God bless you. And I'm going to just say this. We did not have the national anthem last month at our lunch bunch because of a tribute to you. You are the best, and we're going to wait for you to come back.
I felt really badly about it. I did get everything done that I needed to do for my family, and I plan on being there at this time.
All right. God bless you. Thank you for calling.
Thank you, sir.
Take care. God bless. Oh, man, we got so much to talk about in so little time. Let's see, what else have I got here? Oh, yeah, I wanted to mention real quick. The new... we'll take the call first. Always the caller first is my motto. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, Zeb. A long time ago, we had a Democratic president that said, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. And I was just kind of wondering, who the hell flipped the switch on that group that changed their minds to the way they are now?
You know something? I don't know. I don't recognize the voice, but I got to tell you, you're way ahead of your time, man. I agree with you. You know, John F. Kennedy, when he delivered that speech, and I remember sitting and watching it in black and white on a black and white TV set, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. Those were words from a Democratic president and a Democratic Party at that time that really meant something for the progress of this great country of America. It sure changed.
Oh, my God. My dad ran for county commissioner over in Cadgett County once, and he ran on the Democratic ticket back then, and he'd roll over his grave if he could see it now.
Oh, it's terrible. But really, let's be more definitive. When you look at the new pie crust that they're using to bake their goodies in, it's not a Democratic philosophy or platform of the 40s, 50s, 60s, whatever. It is a socialist/communist movement. I don't care what anybody says. When you take Tom Perez and others of that party that are basically telling the Cortezes and the Cynthia Nixons and the Bernie Sanders it's okay to cause all this disruption. It's a party of socialism, and that's what we have to stop.
Oh, my God, yes. Okay, thanks, Ed.
God bless you for your call. Thank you very, very much. Want to remind everybody about our major sponsor, and that's your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. Oh, do they do a wonderful job. Yes, they do, with a big fall tire sale. They've got a lot of their tires with the best of tread designs and all the sizes on sale for you. Stop in. Whether you need passenger car tires, pickup and SUV tires, trailer tires, whatever, they've got the tires, and right now they're big fall tire sale. And along with that, they've got the most highly trained brake technicians, and of course front end alignment, shocks and struts, batteries, all of this and more at all 7 locations. Lane and Rupert, Dave on Blue Lakes and Twin, Mike and Buell, Mike and Jerome. Different Mikes. Twist family over in Paul, great people. Daniel on Poline in Twin Falls, and my buddy Randy on Overland in Burley. Yep, the best. Your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. Coming up next hour, the Chamber Report with Rapid Fire, Sarah Seymour, and then Cassia Regional Hospital, our political update on all that is happening, good, bad, and ugly, with political analysis by Rita Ramsey and myself, and all kinds of goodies. So we'll take a little break for the news and be back in 7. Don't go away. Oh, it's a Thursday morning already. My time flies when you're having fun. September 6th? Holy cow. Zeb at the Ranch, I'm Zeb Bell with our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations with a big fall tire sale going on right now. And some of our great advertisers like Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley, helping you get back to being you. We're going to run over to the Chamber of Commerce in just a moment, but stand by. First of all, I want to remind everyone about our dear friends and your friends at Hanson Mortuary, 710 6th Street in Rupert, with Joel Heward, his family, and his staff serving you. And they always want to provide the families they serve the best possible support and comfort when there's the passing of a loved one, always with the highest ethical standards, with unquestioned integrity. They're there to serve you, and they will. At Hanson Mortuary, 710 6th Street in Rupert. And Joel Heward also serving you at Morrison Payne Funeral Home on East Main in Burley. And a quick note, we want to say a big thank you and shout out to Ark Animal Hospital, 750 21st Street, near Connection Credit Union in Hayburn. Oh yeah, Dr. Bill, Dr. Jordan, all the people over there really concerned about your pet and animal health. Absolutely. And don't forget that they've got the ID tags for your pets. And believe me, that's a handy little deal to have, so that if something goes awry and you lose your little kitty cat or your dog, whatever, you can always have somebody pick them up and say, hey, I know what, there's the ID, we'll get a hold of them and you get your pet back. And they are really concerned about all animals. A mixed animal practice, large and small, they're serving you. Ark Animal Hospital, 750 21st Street in Hayburn. 678-1177, where they have the warm hearts for the cold noses. All right, prepare yourselves. Here she comes. She's like a rapid-fire machine gun. Sarah over at the Minnecasia Chamber of Commerce. Good morning.
They haven't called in yet.
Well, why not?
You know, I'm not sure.
Well, here's the deal. You call them at 679-4793 right away.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. And while I am waiting for that call to come in, I also want to remind you about a good friend of mine and yours, and that's Anthony over at Save On Shells. Wow. I mean, you know where he is, right there on 1027 Overland and Burley. I mean, he's got camper shells all over the place, stacked up 27 high. Well, maybe not that high. He's got a great selection of new or used shells for you, and they can custom fit any truck on the road. Anthony, give him a call and talk to him about what your needs are. 312-1525. 312-1525. Pardon me. And they've got the new ARE camper shells. Oh, they are nice. Don't forget, save on shells. 1027 Overland in Burley. All right, Wheels, did we have them call?
No, I haven't gotten anybody yet.
You mean you're calling and nobody's answering the phone?
Nope, not at all.
Well, keep trying, buddy. Keep trying. I can't imagine the chamber office is closed on this Thursday, so keep trying. In just a few minutes, if we don't get through to Sarah Seymour and the chamber office, we're going to be heading to our friends at the Cassia Regional Hospital. A couple of quick notes that I can throw in here real fast. This gentleman, and he is a gentleman, he was here on my program yesterday, and that was Chuck Driscoll, and he's the Veteran Service Officer talking about a suicide awareness exposition that's going to be taking place for all veterans and interested parties on September 14th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at 625 Fremont Avenue in Rupert. A very, very worthwhile suicide awareness exposition. And I really want to thank Chuck Driscoll for taking the time and effort to come over to my program yesterday and be on the air. Thank you very much. Wheels, we got to find somebody.
I was just going to say that I have Sarah on the phone for you now.
All right, thank you. Sarah, where in the world are you?
Oh, I'm so sorry. We had a board meeting this morning, and it just went over a little bit. There's so much going on here. So busy.
Well, yeah, but when you spell board meeting, do you mean B-O-R-E-D or B-O-A-R-D?
Today is B-O-A-R-D.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, lots of people, lots of stuff going on.
Well, you're going to have to really rapid fire it this morning because I'm running late. Go.
Okay, all right. We got leadership coming up. This is the last week to get your applications in. Please email them to me by September 7th. That's this Friday. Upcoming this next week, we have our Ambassadors Luncheon on September 12th. That's a Wednesday. We meet there every second, third Wednesday of the month at Maury's at noon. If you're an ambassador, if you're interested in what the Chamber has to offer, come on over. We also have our member monthly luncheon next week, Thursday, September 13th, right here at our Chamber of Commerce. It's going to be catered by Upper Crest Bistro, and we're going to have speakers from both Cassia and Minidoka County Schools and letting us know what's going on in the school year upcoming. We also have our photo contest. Check out our website for that. Installation banquet, we're starting to gear up for that. If you're interested in sponsoring or hosting anything or getting a table, get your name on the list because those spots will be coming and filling up soon. River Valley Orthodontics is going to have their ribbon cutting on September 14th at 1 p.m. sharp. We're super excited about that. Southern Idaho Career and Job Expo is coming up in Twin Falls on Wednesday, September 12th at 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's a great way, if you're looking for a new career, get out there and see what our members have to offer you. Greystone Crossing Boarding House still has some vacancies. You can stay there one night or a month. It doesn't matter. Give them a call at 208-650-4979 for more information. Purple Shovel Market is happening at Nature's Nursery Market on September 15th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's going to be a great time for antiques and crafts and food, all sorts of fun stuff. We still have the Chamber Retreat coming up. If you haven't registered yet, contact me here at the Chamber, and I can help you get registered for that. Auditions are happening at the Wilson Theater. We got the Princess Tea Party coming up this month and Harry Potter. Everybody's excited for that in October. Tickets will go on sale mid-September for that event. We have a business after hours at Wright Physical Therapy, September 25th from 3:30 to 6 p.m. We have another one coming up at Phillips Oaks Goodwin's Crane and Company in October, so watch out for that one as well. Tons of stuff happening in the community. If you need something to do at any weekend, at any point in time, visit our calendar at www.minicashchamber.com. Check out the calendar. Click all around through there. We've got tons of events. We even have job postings up there from our members now, so you can find that as well. If you need to submit anything to our calendar, call me here at the Chamber anytime, 208-679-4793. Stop on by and visit us. We're right here by the Riverside Park in Hayburn, 1177 7th Street.
Are you done?
I think so.
Wow. I'm sitting here honestly, and you worked me into a frenzy just listening to you.
Yeah, Well, you said do it quick.
All right. Well, you did a phenomenal job, but we have time for a Sarah's Groaner.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. Well, I'm slightly unprepared for this one, but I do have one written down. Give me just a second.
Okay.
Okay. What is green and has wheels?
What is green and has wheels? I have no clue.
It's grass. I lied about the wheels.
I've got one for you.
All right, let me hear it.
All right. What did the Ozark redneck do when he found out he was being promoted from the 2nd grade to the 3rd grade?
Promoted. What did he do?
He got so excited he cut himself while shaving.
That's terrible.
I know it is. Thanks, Sarah. God bless you over at the Minnecasia Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you, Zeb. Have a great day.
All right, take care. I love that gal. She does a great job. Thank you very much. Oh, let's see what else have we got cooking here. Oh, the Zollinger Quarter Horse Ranch sale. Oh. This is going to be a great sale, and it's going to be this Saturday. Zollinger Quarter Horse Ranch, 30th annual production sale, and it starts at 10 o'clock with the preview on this Saturday. Sale at 11, right up at the ranch in Oakley, 1994 South, 100 east of Oakley. I'm talking about great colts and fillies, conformation, disposition, performance horses, color. Oh, yeah. Great horses with great minds. Contact Jerry at 670-3833 for questions. Zollinger Quarter Horse Ranch, big production sale this Saturday. Don't you miss it. Right now, we're all set to go with our friends at the Cassia Regional Hospital. Wheels, if you would, please.
People caring about you and your health care in the most professional and progressive ways. That's Cassia Regional Hospital, located at 1501 Highland Avenue in Burley. In a moment, we'll introduce you to just one of the many dedicated medical experts serving you at Cassia Regional Hospital. Today's program, right after this. Cassia Regional Hospital provides you and your family excellent health care answers and services. They're right here, close to home. That's right. Cassia Regional Hospital offers the latest technological advances in medicine, like their new oncology programs and telehealth, which uses electronic information and telecommunications to promote long-distance patient and clinical health care. Your friends, your neighbors. Cassia Regional Hospital, 1501 Highland Avenue in Burley. Quality care, close to home. On the program with me today, Michelle Pond-Bell, nurse administrator at Cassia Regional Hospital, and we're going to talk about the Cassia Regional Hospital Oncology Program. Good morning, Michelle. Tell us a little bit about the oncology program, what it means to the public, and what it does for the people of Magic Valley.
Good morning, Zeb. Thank you for inviting me to be on your program today. We've started up our oncology program here at Cassia Regional Hospital to support our patients and their families in our local communities. With our program, we are able to provide chemotherapy and oncology services to the patients in the area, which allows them the opportunity to stay at home and have their care here in the local community. So we're very excited about the program.
Well, it sounds really innovative. What about all the care that's necessary for the various forms of cancer and the treatment, et cetera? Can all of that be administered right there at Cassia Regional?
Our focus with oncology services is with the IV therapy and the providing the chemotherapy here locally in the community. If it's extensive oncology treatment, say radiation, other forms of cancer treatments that way, we don't provide that here, but our focus right now is just on the IV infusion chemotherapy products that we can provide to our patients.
There's so many things, Michelle, that I don't know and understand with innovations in medicine. Well, first of all, tell us about the physicians that are there serving the oncology program, and then also a little bit about telemedicine. I'm really interested in that aspect.
With our program here locally, we don't have an oncologist here on site, But we've had the great opportunity working with Intermountain Healthcare that we have a physician who is oncology certified. He's an expert in the field who interviews all of our patients through tele-oncology services. So we have telehealth, and through that, our patients can stay here locally in the Burley community, be visited with by the physician from actually from Dixie Medical Center in St. George, and ask all the questions that they need to ask, get all the education information that they need, and then he and his team oversee all the treatment that we provide to patients here locally. So it's a great benefit.
This sounds to me, and I'm completely of not very much understanding on this new innovative idea, but it sounds to me like the patients can go to Cassia Regional. They're still visiting with doctors that are helping them with their treatments through the telehealth program, and saving money of not having to drive here and there and everywhere.
And that's correct. We see patients that are in different programs, whether it's different oncology programs here in the state of Idaho or from other states, who are following a protocol, say from a program in Utah. With that, we here at Cassia Regional can oversee and follow that protocol here, providing the protocol that the patient's individual oncologist wants them to follow, with oversight by our oncology specialty team out of Intermountain Healthcare. So it's a great resource for patients where they may go to a different oncology center, have a different protocol, but it's overseen by Intermountain and our specialists here. But with that, it allows our patients to stay in the community. They don't have to travel. They don't have to get hotel rooms. The family doesn't have to move. And if you've ever had chemo or any kind of treatments like those, you don't feel very well. It's nice to be able to stay home and go home and recover. And what they're showing is that patients have saved an average of about $400 a month in travel costs just by being able to have their treatment here at Cassia.
Wow, that's almost a combined savings of over $5,000 a year with this service through Cassia Regional Hospital. Tell me a little bit, Michelle, if you would, please, in regards to cancer itself. And are we finding cures? Are we finding the necessary means to treat it so that patients have a more optimistic outlook? Tell us a little bit about that.
I'm very positive and hopeful with cancer research that we can find a cure for cancer, because I think everybody, either individually or through someone in your own family, has had an experience with cancer. I know personally in my own family, I have a family member who is still undergoing ongoing cancer treatments for reoccurrences of cancer. I'm hopeful, and my family member's goal is to outlive cancer until they can find a cure. I think in our environment these days, we are seeing more and more people that have cancers that have never had a family history of cancer, and it's becoming more and more predominant. People need to be very diligent about their health screenings, their health care, making sure that everything's looking good to prevent, because many of the cancers are preventable, but it's through good health screenings and good health care by their local physicians to catch those so that we can intervene in a timely manner and prevent, a dramatic outcome.
Michelle Pond-Bell, nurse administrator at Cassia Regional Hospital, and I can tell by the sound of your voice that you're a very proud employee of a very progressive hospital.
I love where I work. Here at Cassia Regional, we are a part of Intermountain Healthcare, and we have nothing but great support from great teams of specialists, whether it's tele-oncology, tele-stroke, tele-wound, etc. I think with that, the thing I'm most proud of is it allows patients and their families to have their care by their local physicians in their own communities and to be able to stay at home and have high-quality care that you'd get in any big city. But I think the care here is much more family and patient-oriented, because we see the same people every day that we're taking care of, and we love them, and we want them to get better.
I'm really proud to have this lady on my program this morning. Michelle Pond-Bell, nurse administrator with Cassia Regional Hospital in the oncology program. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Bell, and I really appreciate your time. And I hope people do their screenings and prevent and don't have an occurrence of cancer. So, and if they do, we're more than willing to see them here and provide care.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Tune in every Thursday at 9:18 right here on Zeb at the Ranch for more about the people and the healthcare services at your Cassia Regional Hospital, 1501 Highland Avenue in Burley. Quality care close to home.
Oh, my. Those are such nice people over there. So knowledgeable and so helpful at your Cassia Regional Hospital. Thank you very much. Wow. I've got so many people to talk about on this program. I am blessed, believe me, with the cream of the crop, including our friends at Let's Ride. 270 Highway 24 between Rupert and the World, and they've got all the ATVs. Oh, you know what? This weekend sounds to me like it would be a great weekend to get away. Get up in the hills, get out and enjoy all the beautiful scenery of southern Idaho. Oh, they can help you have fun because this is where the fun is sold. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, Saturdays, 9 to 4. And don't forget, they absolutely have those new Maverick Sport side-by-sides. And they've got all the ATVs. I mean, they've got a showroom over there that will knock your socks off, figuring out how in the world they got everything in there. And that's Let's Ride, 270 Highway 24 between Rupert and the World, and a super accessory department, great service department to keep you running at Let's Ride. Yup, where the fun is sold. Good people. Let's see what else have we got going on here today. There were a couple of other public service announcements I've got to get on here real quick. And one of them is the annual Bounty of the Harvest Dinner and Bazaar. It is going to be sponsored by the Rupert United Methodist Women, and it's going to be held on Friday, September 28th, from 4 to 7 p.m. at the church at 605 H Street. Now, the dinner menu, whoa, sounds really good. Smoked pork, oven-roasted new red potatoes. That's better than old red potatoes. And they're going to have what they call Methodist squash. What is Methodist squash? I've never heard that. Carolina-style coleslaw, applesauce, home-baked rolls, and pies. Ooh, I love pies. And there's also going to be a baked food sale and craft bazaar. And I understand that if you want orders of this food to go, all you have to do is call 436-3354. There you go. Rupert United Methodist Women, great big dinner and bake sale. Also, let's see what else have I got cooking here. Honoring a hometown hero, Jerry Voss and his wonderful people with Modern Woodman. They're going to be having their special event coming up on Monday, September 10th at Doc's Pizza at 6 p.m. over in Rupert. And Jerry Voss has done such an outstanding job with that program. More people I want to thank include Cameron and Siemens Insurance, Highway 24 in Rupert. My goodness, we always put that on the back burner. Well, yeah, I'll get with that next week. I'll take a look at it in a couple of weeks. I'll give them a call. No, don't put it off. Believe me, we all need to make sure that we have our life insurance in order, health insurance in order, retirement planning, employee benefits. The folks at Cameron and Siemens Insurance can and they will help you. And it's really easy to get it taken care of. All you have to do is call, make an appointment at 436-4424. That number again, 436-4424. Cameron and Siemens Insurance, Highway 24 in Rupert. Really top-notch people. Let's see what else I got to tell you about here real quick before we go any further. Coming up later on this morning, at 10:10, we're going to have Cassia County School Days. And we're going to have the new, well, he's not so new anymore. He's been here for, 2, 3, 4 months, whatever. But we're going to have the new superintendent, Jim Shank, on our program. We're going to ask him a bunch of questions about what he thinks about Cassia County school system. Don't miss that at 10:10 this morning on Cassia County School Days. And then my old buddy George Mass is going to be on the air at 10:30, and we're going to be talking about the 3rd annual Patriotic Car Show, standing for the red, white, and blue. Let's see, what else have we got? Oh, my goodness, our friends at Dino's Septic Service. Hello, friends. I mean, they do the job that you and I, don't want to do. Septic tanks pumped and sewer and sink drain lines cleaned and liquid waste removal. Ooh, they do it with a smile on their face. They've recently expanded their business to better serve you. Call Dino's Septic Service and the number 436-6526 or in Burley 678-1638. Fast, fair, friendly service with a big truck that says smells cargo on the way. Dino's Septic Service, serving you. Well, we always look forward to Thursdays because a lovely lady in Burley, quite a political analyst, and I enjoy having her on my program. Let's say good morning to the lovely Rita Ramsey. Good morning.
Give me one.
I knew that was going to happen. The phone rings the minute I say good morning, and the phone rings, and now on the second try, here's Rita.
Good morning.
There you are. How are you, Rita?
I'm real good, thank you.
Oh, Rita, we have got so much to talk about in so little time. Let's start first with a band of idiots. The Democrats and their squalls and their baby cries and their diaper-changing moments at the Kavanaugh hearing. What are your thoughts?
Well, I'll tell you something. The Kavanaugh hearings have been turned into a circus, and the Democrats are the monkeys. They're the ones who are out there just playing all kinds of games, trying to get people to notice them and asking for laughs. The big problem is that this is a serious thing, and I understand that they could lose some of their left-leaning direction if they let a conservative Supreme Court justice be admitted in, but they aren't going to be in office for at least another 2 years, so are they just going to keep doing this?
Yeah.
I thought it was quite fitting that Lindsey Graham gave a kind of a tirade yesterday, and I thought it was really good because in his tirade he talked about, hey, there's a lot of hypocrisy going on here, and I was kind of surprised that he would come right out and say it because he's always seemed a little bit, less on Trump and not necessarily a conservative. Him and McCain a lot of times voted together and that type of thing. But he says, Democrats bellyache that Kavanaugh worked as attorney for Ken Starr, and then they said, well, have you heard of Justice Breyer? Do you know him? Graham said in an opening statement. Where did he come from? He was Ted Kennedy's Senate Judiciary person. Where do you think the Republicans are going to find a judge anyway? Democrats whine that Kavanaugh, an impartial judge on D.C. Court Circuit Appeals, won't promise to be partial when it comes to certain things. And I thought it was quite good that Kavanaugh would say, I think you're asking me to make pre-decisions on things that are either haven't happened or would happen or things that are pending, and that's not what I can do.
That's right. Now, you made a reference when you started talking about this subject about the left and about how they're trying to stop this. I have in my hand a story that was given to me at about 7:15 this morning, and I'm going to read you about 2 or 3 very short paragraphs that solidifies what you just said. Stand by. Listen to this. A group of left-wing groups wrote a letter to New York Democratic Senator Chuck Schumer yesterday criticizing the minority leader for failing the progressive base by not blocking Judge Brett Kavanaugh's confirmation to the Supreme Court. Part of the letter said this: the Supreme Court is on the line and you are failing us. Your job as Senate Democratic leader is to lead your caucus in complete opposition to Trump's attempted Supreme Court takeover and to defend everyone threatened by a Trump Supreme Court. And the letter continues by saying the Democratic Party's progressive base expects nothing less than an all-out resistance to Trump's dangerous agenda. They want to elect candidates who will stand up for the people Trump threatens, not ones who compromise or cower as he and Republicans run the table in Congress and the courts. Whoa! What did you think about that?
Well, and that's absolutely right. The other thing is, and this is what people forget, is the Supreme Court justices not the ones who are just supposed to uphold the Constitution and forget about politics?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And this is why I thought Lindsey Graham's thing was really good, is he said, you know, Republicans want a judge who will preserve the Constitution and uphold the rule of law. He kind of lectured them on things that were going on and reminded the committee that with Hillary Clinton, he said we've got to make sure that, or she said that we've got to make sure to preserve Roe versus Wade. And it's kind of like, no, the Supreme Court justices are the ones who are supposed to say, is this constitutional or not, period. And then Graham went on to remind them, and I heard his quote, too. It was on, I think he said this on probably one of the Fox News channels. But anyway, what he had said is that, hey, when Obama put, it wasn't Sotomayor, it was the other one, up for election, I just voted for her because
it's Kagan, wasn't it?
Obama's choice. And my main question was, is she going to uphold the Constitution?
Right. It was Kagan, wasn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
Elena Kagan, yes.
Well, let me ask you this. The charade, the carnival, the absolute laughable attitude that the Democrats have displayed back there, like whining, crying babies, of which there was a cartoon that depicted that in the newspaper this morning. It's a lot worse than this. I mean, it sounds like, and it's intimated, that there's a lot of money going and changing hands back there to pay these protesters to be on cue to cause problems in the Senate hearing itself. Many of these protesters have been thrown out, but what gets me, and you got to tell me how this happens, once they've been thrown out and supposedly arrested for disturbing the peace and disturbing the Senate hearings, they found out that they've been paid like $50 or something like that to be there, and then they come back, and they've been maybe thrown out 2 or 3 times. Rita, how did they get back in there?
I don't know, but I think that somebody needs to have a law amended and say that, you know what, if you've been tossed out of the, the area for unruly conduct and you have like a 2-week thing that you can't show up again. You're just out of here. Kind of like, if you're a parent who's screaming and hollering at a kid's game, it's like, okay, 3 games, you're banned, and that's it. So don't even bother to show up on the sidelines until your 3 games are up.
Yeah.
And why they would not do that there is beyond me, but it's because you've got a bunch of Democrats saying, hey, I'll just do what we need to do, and it's going to cost us some money, and we'll just keep paying it.
And then they took kind of a roving street report, and they went out and they started interviewing some of these people that are carrying all the signs and placards. We can't have Kavanaugh. No Kavanaugh on Supreme Court. And they asked this one guy, and it left an impression on me. Why are you carrying this anti-Kavanaugh sign? And the guy replies, well, I don't know. They just told me to walk around and carry it. This is insane.
Well, let's just say I think there are literally hundreds of people in the Baltimore and D.C. area who show up, and it's like we need day work. And so give us the money, and we'll go protest whatever you want us to protest. We'll show up. We'll get on buses. We'll go or whatever it is. This has been going on for literally years. My dad went back to Washington, D.C., probably been 25 years ago. And when they got there was some people who got off of a bus. They were just looking at sights. Some people got off a bus, and there were about 25 of them. And they said, do you want to come and join us? And he goes, well, what are you doing? And they go, well, we're here to protest. Pretty soon there were news cameras and stuff taking pictures of all 25 of them like there were 25,000. And it came on the news that night, and it showed him and said there were literally thousands showed up for this protest today. And he said there were no more than 25 people there, and they just act like that. It's literally thousands, and the news media is all in on this and takes care of it and does whoever they want to do, and that's what these people are doing. They're just paid protesters. The money, I'm sure, comes through Soros from one way or the other, and it's from him down through the various ranks. But it's just really sad to think that there are people who will sell themselves out for that kind of a thing instead of saying, you know what, I'm not for that kind of thing.
And then you have the Cory Bookers, and you have the Kamala Harrises and the Dick Durbins. And Kamala Harris, there was something really, I don't know, kind of under the table yesterday, if you will, where she tried to paint Kavanaugh into a corner about a meeting with a unnamed lawyer or firm, and he looked at her like, who are you talking about? And then she said, well, you just don't want to tell us. It was almost like it was a very evil and sinister meeting. I'm telling you, I'm sick of these Democrats and the way that they do their questioning.
Well, I think that their constituents need to start sending them some letters and some emails and telling them, hey, you're disgracing your office. You're disgracing the whole country when you're acting this way. You're acting like a bunch of little tiny kids not getting their own way and throwing a temper tantrum.
Yeah.
And the other thing that's just really sad about it is they won't look and see what they're supposed to be doing. They're supposed to be asking questions and being made to know for sure in their heart that this particular person would implement and go by the Constitution, protect the Constitution, enforce the rule of law, and that's all. It's not supposed to be political one bit, but they will not do that.
And we're very possibly going to have the same circus and carnival come back in a couple of months if some of the, let's say some of the rumors that I've been told come true with another resignation from the court.
Right, Kennedy was on his way out, I think.
Yep. Now, I got to ask you this, because this is a big news story this morning, one that makes no sense to me whatsoever. If you were the New York Times newspaper, supposedly, underline that word supposedly, the world's most famous and prestigious newspaper, what in the world would you do publishing an anonymous, not verified op-ed piece in your paper against the president?
Well, that tells me one thing, and that is, first of all, they don't care who they get letters from, whether they're true or not. It's just, we're going to go ahead and publish it. You don't publish anonymous things and have any credibility. There's I call it a rag, that publishes, I'm not going to put my name down, but I'm going to throw all kinds of things out there and say all kinds of things, but I'm not going to say my name.
Right.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, anyone who writes any of those articles and will not publish their name need to be discounted as there's no credibility here. You're just somebody that's either got an axe to grind or you're just a sorehead.
Right.
And just don't even pay attention to it. If somebody wants to publish their name and say, this is what I think and this is my name, then I think there's a little bit of credibility there.
Yep.
And for a big newspaper like that to do it, they saw two things. First thing is they're hoping they can destroy Trump. And the second thing is they're hoping to bring up their subscriptions and support for their newspaper because their newspaper's going down the toilet.
I was listening to a report about, I think it was Saturday, and there was an interview with a businessman, and I'm not going to stand behind this. Maybe you saw this. I think the businessman was from Colorado. And the interview said, are you in favor of the impeachment or the removal of Donald Trump from office? And he turned and looked at the reporter with kind of a vague look on his face, and he said, why? For the first time in 10 years, my business is making money.
Yeah, see, that's what really bothers me is that when money is the big factor, where's the credibility? I mean, if you're in business and the only thing that matters to you is the guy that will pay 10 cents more, or a couple of dollars more, or $100 more, or he has more credibility because he'll give us $1,000 or something like that, you live a sad life and you have a sad business.
But the point is, though,
really sad because that's exactly what they're doing here. Is they're saying, well, money is the only thing that really matters, so we'll do whatever it takes.
But I think you will agree, though, that the same question could have been asked of parents and families. The idiocy of the Democrats wanting to impeach him or throw him out of office, or like Robert Reich from the past administration, he wants to basically erase everything with Trump's name on it. This administration is being successful. Our economy is growing in leaps and bounds, and things look better for the future. Businesses are reinvesting in their business and spending more money, which means more money in the economy. Why in the world would you want to throw the guy out that's feeding the dog?
Well, I don't really know, except that this comes down to power now, because these people, money isn't the bottom line for them, it's power. And the big problem that I see with this is, if you don't agree with your boss, then go find a job someplace else.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nobody says you have to agree. Just find a job someplace else.
Absolutely.
And this is what Trump said. You know, he said, I'm going to continue to drain the swamp despite their resistance. And he says, I'm draining the swamp, and the swamp is trying to fight back. And he, reassures us in a tweet, don't worry, I will do that. And that's what's making these people mad, is that they're not getting their own way. And while I hope that Trump has good people advising him, I really hope that these people who are saying these kinds of things about him and what that letter said, I hope they're packing their little box from their desk and headed out the door and saying, hey, I just can't back him up on it, and so I'm leaving.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. I want to come back, and I want to talk about socialism and women in just a minute, so stand by. I've got a weather forecast. Don't forget our weather brought to you this hour by Phillips Oaks, Goodwin, Crane, and Company, that have been providing accounting services to the Mini-Cash area for well over 50 years. That's right. They have a track record of success for you. The best of tax return preparation, tax planning, financial statement preparation, retirement planning, and they've got 2 offices to serve you in Rupert and Burley. I tell you what, I urge you to get a hold of them today and find out about the tax rates that have changed and new deductions and altering some of the old deductions. You, your business, your family, you need to know. Contact the people that can help. Phillips Oaks, Goodwin, Crane, and Company. And right now, here's Gina with the weather.
Possible thunderstorms are expected by early this evening. Here's a look at your weather forecast for Zebeth Ranch. Looking at mostly sunny skies for today. Clouds are going to be rolling in by this afternoon, bringing along with it a possibility of some isolated showers and thunderstorms. Some of those storms could produce gusty winds. Mostly sunny skies. High of 90 is what we're looking at. And for tonight, isolated showers and thunderstorms possible before midnight. Gusty winds as high as about 30 miles an hour, expecting a low of 54. Tomorrow, sunny skies with a high of 87, overnight low of 54 by Saturday, mostly sunny and 85. And as we look ahead towards Sunday, mostly sunny and 80. That's your weather for Zebeth the Ranch.
And thank you, Gina. I appreciate that. Brought to you by Phillips Oaks, Goodwin, Crane, and Company, with office in Burley and Rupert. Please find out about the tax changes. Get a hold of them today. Phillips Oaks, Goodwin, Crane, and Company. Rita, you are very, very sharp about what goes on in politics, and I know you're following what's going on here, but you have an actress that really has zero mental capability for being a political governor, Cynthia Nixon in New York. Then we have back there also Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Then we have, of course, a new person on the scene in the likes of Bernie Sanders and worse. In New Mexico, a woman by the name of, I'm trying to find it right here, Deborah Haaland. All of these people are avowed very left-wing socialists. Why, in your opinion, are there more women running for office basically under the socialist name tag?
I don't really know if they believe what they're saying that they believe, but my thought on them doing this is so that they can get attention and get their name repeated over and over and over again. It's called name recognition. The people who hear the name the most, like, oh, yeah, I think I know that person, and so I'll vote for them. And I think that their advisors are saying, you know, all we need to do is just get the name out there, do something really outrageous, and the news media will keep chattering and chattering and chattering, and pretty soon everybody will be familiar with your name. Let's just face it, if that, whatever her name is in New York, hadn't have done the stupid stuff that she did, we wouldn't have any idea who she even is or that it even mattered or, you know, anything else. But they do something really outlandish like that, and right now it's like, let's just jump on the socialism wagon, and we'll get on that board, and we'll get lots of attention because there aren't very many people doing it, and pretty soon you'll be a name that's known around the kitchen table.
I am very much concerned, though, because when you listen to these people, they really have not put the facts and figures together in coordinated sentences so that they make any sense. I mean, Cynthia Nixon coming out with, well, no, I really don't have a health care plan yet, but I think what we should do is demand that all the money be put up first and then we'll write a plan later. What? And then you have this person down in New Mexico running for a congressional seat, Democrat Deborah Haaland, that says, well, no more borders. No. Anybody can come into this country, go and come as they please, and we're going to abolish ICE. And then you have Cortez that's going and talking to school children, elementary school children, and telling them to hate Trump and fight Trump. I can't handle this kind of attitude.
Well, it's really ridiculous, and I think more things like this particular one that I'm going to mention should happen. There was a picture of Bernie Sanders and that Cortez together, and it was like Sanders-Cortez, like they were running for office in 2020. And then there was a caption below it that says, we'll turn the U.S. into Venezuela.
Oh, my goodness, yes. But, you know,
that's really true, because that's what they would do. And right now the people in Venezuela are dying, and they're starving to death.
Yes.
And they're under the oppression of socialism, communism, actually. And that's what they've got with their socialist leaders.
Yeah, but wait a minute, Rita. You and I, we're kind of, and I mean this in all politeness, we're kind of news junkies. We really enjoy reading and studying what's going on. That being said, what's the matter with the American public today that they can't say, wait a minute, they want to run as a socialist? Don't they realize the negativity and the absolute demeaning that means not only for their politics but also for this country? Why can't the American public just laugh and sneer at these people and tell them to take a long walk off a short pier?
Because let's face it, the majority of the American people are totally inept when it comes to news and politics. You know, they read one-liners. I mentioned this before. Somebody will read a headline and go, oh my gosh, and they don't have a clue that headline doesn't say anything about what really happened. And it's because they want to take the easy way out. They don't want to study. They don't want to learn. They don't want to dig deep. It's just kind of like, oh, yeah, fine, and then they're on their way doing other stuff that they think is more important.
Okay, now, I've only got 1 minute left, and I want you to put yourself in uniform. You are now the sergeant at arms for the Senate hearing. What would you, Rita Ramsey, do to stop these idiotic protesters?
I think what I would do is call together the leaders that be, like the Mitch McConnell and then the Democrat leader guy, and any of those who are in charge, get all of them together and say, something's got to happen. We can't continue to do this. They are actually making a red stain on our process, and it's up to you as the leaders to decide what are we going to do. And then when they do whatever, if it's reasonable, fine. If not, then you have a news conference to say, I tried to get this changed, and this was the kind of crap we got, and this is why you're getting the crap you're getting.
Woo! I like that. I knew I'd get a straight answer, as I always do. Rita, God bless you. Have a wonderful week. Thanks for being on the show.
Okay, we'll see you. Goodbye.
You bet. Take care. I love that lady. I really, really do. All of a sudden, I've lost a piece of paper that, this is crazy. I had it in my hand not more than a couple of minutes ago, and there it is. Whoo! Man, I thought Deanne was going to really get mad at me. It's time of the day to say, if you're hungry and starving to death, I know some great places to go, and they include the AC Drive-In at 601 East Main in Burley. Orange and lemonade freezes. Oh, the weather's nice and warm. You're going to love them. They're so tasty. And they've got fish and shrimp baskets, or they get fish sandwiches and shrimp baskets. And, of course, the famous Farmer Brown burgers. Oh, good. I'm telling you. AC Drive-In, 601 East Main in Burley. Well, how about Taco Bandito, 2301 Overland in Burley? You know what? You've got to get in there and try like those street tacos and the new pork burritos with beans, pork, rice, sour cream, and cheese. Oh, it's good. And Taco Bandito, like I said, they've got bacon with jalapeno in it. Wake up and enjoy the world. Taco Bandito, 2301 Overland in Burley. Well, let's move over now to two locations of Burgers Etc. 124 South Oneida in Rupert and 700 Overland in Burley. They've got a ham and cheese combo after 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Only $4.99. Includes the sandwich, the fries, and the drink. Whoa, it's good. And they've got the Huckleberry Shakes. Oh, yeah, buddy. Delicious with all the nice people at Burgers Etc. in Rupert and Burley. Well, last but not least, let's go over to Steve-O's. Food made the way you love it. At 290 South, 600 West of Hayburn. They've got the delicious buffalo burgers, and they've got a new spud called the Cheesy Broccoli Spud, and they've got really, really delicious salads. Let me tell you, and cupcakes, oh, delicious cupcakes. All of this with really nice people, like I said, at Steve-O's, 290 South, 600 West of Hayburn. And those are just a few great places to go if you're hungry and starving to death. Yes, I am. So is my lovely bride. We went on a little road trip last night, and she didn't get anything to eat, nor did I. We're hungry this morning. We're going to take a little break right now and send it back over to our main studios, and then come back with Cassia County School Days. Don't go away. Zeb at the Ranch, Wheels, it's all yours. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, my goodness. We've had a good time this morning talking about a lot of issues. Zeb at the Ranch, I'm Zeb Bell, with our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations serving you with a big fall tire sale going on. And, of course, some of our great advertisers like Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley, helping you get back to being you. We're going to go to Cassia County School Days in just a moment. I want to remind everybody, too, about the Zollinger Quarter Horse Ranch. This will probably be the last time I'll have a chance to talk about it this week. It's going to be Saturday, this Saturday. Don't forget Zollinger Quarter Horse Ranch 30th Annual Production Sale. Preview at 10 in the morning this Saturday, sale at 11, and it's up at the ranch at 1994 South, 100 East. Let me say that again. 1994 South, 100 East of Oakley. You can't miss it. Zollinger Quarter Horse Ranch Production Sale. Boy, they've got some ripping good colts and fillies for sale that really have great minds, confirmation, and an abundance of color. Get on up there and enjoy the sale this Saturday. Zollinger Quarter Horse Ranch Production Sale. Also, really fast, there's going to be an auction coming up on Saturday, too. I want to mention this to you. And it's going to be over in Hagerman, the Gary Tussey auction. It's 11 o'clock Saturday, September 8th this Saturday in Hagerman. Look for the signs of the Bennett Boys auction service. They're going to have pickups and ATVs and trailers and guns and sporting items, lawn and garden items like a Toro riding lawnmower, lawn sweeper, antique furniture, oak roll top desk, all kinds of things. And that sale is going to be at 11 o'clock on this Saturday, September 8th in Hagerman. Look for the signs of the Bennett Boys auction service. No sale too big, no sale too small. The Bennett Boys, they sell them all. Right now it is time for Cassia County School Days, and Cassia County School Days brought to you by our dear friends at A Child's World. And they're located at 1308 Overland in Burley, and school's back in session, and they're telling you that they're giving 50% off all the summer clothing. They've got all the games, the puzzles, and the toys, and all the baby clothing and furniture, everything over there at A Child's World. And they're a proud sponsor of Cassia County School Days. A Child's World at 1308 Overland in Burley. Right now with us on the telephone is the brand spanking new, why, my golly, he doesn't even have a wrinkle yet, and that's the superintendent of Cassia County Schools, Dr. Jim Shank. Good morning, Doctor. How are you?
Good morning, Zeb. I'm doing great. How are you doing?
One thing on this program, you can't be severely straight-laced and always not smiling. You got to loosen up a little bit, okay?
All right.
That really convinced me. Okay, I'm going to get right to what I want to ask you about. I'm going to rapid fire quite a few different points I want you to address this morning. I would like to know, you're new in this area as the superintendent, and I'm going to give you my feelings, and you can respond to my thoughts. I want to know your attitude towards the negativity that has been in this state against Idaho education and basically lumping our high school students into where they're in a desert, they're in a no man's land, they have no future, they're undereducated. I'm really offended by this, and I've commented many times on my program about it. My daughter and my son went to two of the smallest high schools in the state of Idaho, and they are highly successful. It has nothing to do with the schools. I think it's all the personal motivation and the way they're raised. That's my feeling. Now tell me yours.
Well, it's an interesting attitude because the data doesn't bear that. It doesn't support it.
Doesn't support what?
The data supports that schools have never been better. And so when I take a look at some of the things that we're doing well, at least in our school district, for instance, in one of the state indicators of career and college readiness, Burley Senior High School, for instance, 97% of students that attended there, and this is according to state data, are prepared for career and college as they leave our school system. So that's a pretty high indicator. You know, we graduate 92% of our students in some places like Oakley. We're almost 95%. So schools are doing very well, and they're entering college. They're entering the careers that they want to do. They have choices. That's one of our goals that we have when students leave our system is what type of choices do they have? Can they make good choices? And the feedback that we're getting is that they can, and that's our end product. That's the way that we want people to perceive is that they have choices. They can go to college. They can take a career. They can do certain types of things. So, you know, if there's an attitude that's pervasive about some negativity about public education, you know, I would ask them to look at the data.
You know, I don't think there's anything more demeaning and more negative than having ads on radio and television that say, oh, the kids are at the bottom of the barrel and they're in a no man's land. They're never going to be successful. How can they ever support their families in the future? Wow. If anything tees me off, it's that, because I think it's all attitude. Anything you do in life all goes back to attitude and how you go after a problem and try to solve it. And quite frankly, with the people that I've had on this program representing Cassia County school systems, I am really impressed with the attitude.
Well, that's great to hear that our people are well presenting, and I think not only is it attitude, but it's actual result. They're doing a good job. They're doing great things. Our kids are responding. So it's an interesting point of view. It's an interesting mindset that people might carry, that schools aren't doing a good job when in reality they are. Of course, no system's perfect. There isn't any organization out there that's perfect at what they do. There's always places to improve, always places to work on, and we're dedicated toward those improvements.
Let me ask you this. There's been a lot of talk about teacher shortages, trying to find quality teachers. I don't think it's just here, but it's across the board. How does a school district solve that problem? I mean, there's only so many out there. How do you go get them?
Well, you have to, if you think of it, you have to market your school district. You have to make it attractive for those who are in the pool to want to come to your school district and work. So the working conditions that they work in, we've talked a little bit about the attitude about how people think about our school systems. Are we an attractive place for people to come to work? Of course, a lot of that has to do with our communities, and we have good communities. We have people that are family-oriented, and that's important to teachers and anybody that works in a school system is, how it is that the people support them. Another thing is competitive wage. That's something that gets talked about quite a bit anyway, but it's a reality. We have, I think 2.3% unemployment, I think is some, if I recall correct, was a statistic I read the other day. And so any organization that's looking for employees is probably struggling at this point to find people because there's a competitive nature about any type of opening. And so your programs have to be attractive. You've got to make it look like it's a place where people can fulfill their goals, their objectives in life as far as their career is concerned.
Let me ask you, Dr. Shank, right now I think that we're looking at a real problem of energy, human shortage in this country. People that want to go to work, people that want to succeed, people that want to use all the assets that God gave them to go out and really knock the doors down and be successful. How do we get that spirit and that thought back in education?
Well, I see it. I see that type of attitude, that type of energy when you see a new teacher come into any school that we have and they want to engage in the teaching process, the learning process with students. You see a lot of light in their eyes, a lot of energy, a lot of desire to want to make a difference. And I think that's one of the things about public schools or any school system that's important is that people want to make a difference in society. And one of the best ways you can do that is to apply your skills and talents in teaching children the things that they're going to need to be successful.
Okay, but with that being said, the things that they're going to need to make them successful, that's great, that's fine. But I also need to, I seem to think that we need to get back to some of the basics about their appreciation of their country and what it does and has offered them and their families for over 250 years. In other words, I think we need to get back to more teaching about how great this country is instead of all the negativism, and also civics so they can learn about the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and understand really what's going on politically. Am I wrong?
No, I think you're correct. I think there's a sense that, that these things are not important anymore for whatever reason that might be out in some points of view. I don't see that being taught in our schools. I see a positiveness that's being taught about schools, things that you can engage in. Those things that we talk about Constitution, when it comes to our government classes, our U.S. history type of classes that we teach, they're there. It's not that they're not being taught. I sometimes marvel at that question that we're not teaching those things because we are. They're required by our standards that are being put forth by the state. We do teach them.
What about one other problem that all school districts have? And believe me, I've talked to a lot of different people in education across the board. And the problem is parents. parents not getting involved, parents too busy to help out or know about what their kids' positives and negatives are at the school system, etc. How do you re-implement more parental involvement?
Well, and that's a challenge. I see parents that want to be engaged, and oftentimes it's the busyness of their schedules. When it comes to working, a lot of families are, they have moms and dads both working. The families are busy trying to attend to those things that comes to earning a living. And so those time crunches that come into play when things are happening at a school or an activity or something that a parent would want to be engaged in just can't because their work schedules don't allow them to do that. That's something that we've encountered in our school systems where we want to engage. We do things that are activities or things that bring parents in, but oftentimes it's just a challenge. And I see it, I understand it, and oftentimes the answers are not readily available because when you have a conflict in schedule, the parents are going to choose what's most highest priority to them, which could be it's make ends meet or go to an activity, and sometimes those are hard choices.
Let me ask you this question. You've only been on the job for a short period of time, but since you've been here in this area as the Cassia County Superintendent, have you had an, oh boy, I didn't expect that problem yet, or is it yet to come?
Well, there's always challenges wherever you're at. I don't know that I've had one that's necessarily terribly surprising. I just think that those problems, those challenges present themselves in whatever it is that's needed in the school district. For instance, right now we have some large class sizes and some grades in the district, and some of that's due to growth. And so those are things that we're going to have to take on. I don't know that that's something that's necessarily a surprise. When you have a growing community, there's probably going to be some pressure points in how that's represented in class sizes.
Which brings up another part of the problem here. I've only got a couple of minutes left, but this area, Doctor, is growing in leaps and bounds, and especially and primarily the Mini-Cassia area. And how do you and your school board, how does everybody in education try to keep up with what looks like a big influx of people coming in?
Well, we're working on a 5, 10, 15-year plan, trying to look forward on what it is that we need in order to accommodate that growth. And so right now, Cassia County School District, the School District Board is involved in working towards making sure that our facilities are going to be able to accommodate that growth. So that's something that's on the table and it's being discussed at this time. Another is, and we talked about this earlier, is making sure that teachers, staff members are attracted to our school district so that they'll want to come and work here. And so when we look at, recruiting, retaining good quality staff members, that we're on top of that.
It sounds to me like when you open the door to your office every morning, it's not just a ho-hum, gee whiz, don't know what I'm going to do today moment, is it?
Never. Yeah, there are always things waiting for you when you come in. And it's a challenging job. It's a nice job. It's a great opportunity to be able to serve the community, serve our parents, lead, all of those types of things. It's a wonderful experience.
Well, I want to compliment you for handling all this morning, rapid fire. You did a great job, and I understand that we're going to try to get you on at least once a month, put you on the hot seat and see what's happening over in the Cassia County school system. But Dr. Jim Shank, thank you so much for being on the program.
You're welcome, and thank you.
You bet. Have a great day. Thank you much. Yeah. Nice man, and very, very eloquent in expressing his thoughts, and I'm glad he was on the program this morning. Dr. Jim Shank, Cassia County Schools Superintendent, and, of course, Cassia County School Days, brought to you by A Child's World at 1308 Overland in Burley. Don't forget 50% off the summer clothes. Stock up for next summer when it's hot and toasty at A Child's World. 1308 Overland in Burley. Thank you, Linda, and everybody for sponsoring Cassia County School Days. We have a brand new sponsor, but not really a brand new advertiser and sponsor on the show. They've been with us before, and it's good to have them back, and we're talking about Syringa Plaza, a lovely and very affordable senior community in Burley. And I want to tell you that absolutely you should call and find out more today, because they have special features like one-bedroom apartments, and they've got kitchen with electric ranges and refrigerators, building accessible to people with disabilities, emergency call system, all of this and more at Syringa Plaza. They really care, and it's a readily accessible public transportation area. They just want to serve you. So please, seniors, keep this in mind and call today at 677-4204. That number again, 677-4204. Syringa Plaza at 626 Elba Avenue in Burley. Well, let's head on down to one of my favorite guys to come on the radio and visit with us, the old football fan and dad on the sidelines and everything, and that's Jeff over at Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More. Good morning, Jeff. How you doing?
Doing great, Zeb. Thank you for having me.
Well, what's the dad part of you doing? Are you excited about the football season?
Oh, I always enjoy a little bit of football, and so, I keep looking for you at the games.
Well, you're going to see me on Friday night.
All right, that sounds great. I'll make sure I catch up with you.
All right. Now, Jeff, I said this before, and I'll say it again, that, we're blessed with kind of an Indian summer attitude right now. Crispy, warm, 80-degree days, still a lot of time to be outside. But then, all of a sudden, the bottom's going to fall out of this thing, and we're all going to be inside. We're going to be within the confines of our walls, and we're going to look around and say, oh, I wished I'd have put that new carpet in. Oh, I wished I had that new dining room set. Well, they can solve that if they'll just stop in and see you at Lee's Furniture.
Zeb, you're pretty intuitive. That is absolutely correct. What happens is we have a busy summer, and then all of these projects that we've been intending to do, they catch up with us all of a sudden as the weather goes cold. Lee Furniture, we carry some great things, Zeb. We carry floor covering. We carry every type and piece of furniture that you would need for your home. We carry window coverings. This time of year, it's a great time to refresh so that you're getting ready for the holidays. We have, of course, floor covering of every kind: hard surface, carpet, area rugs, vinyl, luxury vinyl planking. So for any of those projects that you want to have done, this is the perfect time because the weather is cooperative. As soon as it turns cold and snowy, it's a little more challenging to do those kind of things. No place to put the furniture. The holidays catch up quickly. It's very true.
Well, and right there is the key. A lot of people don't realize that we are literally a matter of weeks away from the big doings like Thanksgiving, and around the corner there it is, Christmas and all the family gatherings. Holy cow, if they want to beautify and comfortize, that's a new word I'm using, comfortize their home, they better get in and see you.
Yeah, in fact, you make me think of something. I enjoy running. And I remember one fall, I would go out in the mornings and I would run, and it was September, and the mornings they were very cold. And of course, getting into October, it's not uncommon for that snow to hit about the middle of October. And so, really, if a person is considering doing these things, refreshing the living room, a bedroom, want to redo that furniture, it's nice to have that done before the snow falls, or it gets cold, or it gets muddy. And so I do think about these things just as you're saying. And Thanksgiving, it really is right around the corner. We're 2 months away, really, from the Thanksgiving season. And so, think about those times that the family's going to come visit. If you want a new sectional, you want a new couch, you do want to redo that carpet in time for all of the family to visit. It's very true.
I love my recliner. I got to tell you, folks, I got a brand new recliner at Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More, and it's a neat deal with the little power console on the side. I still am always pushing the wrong buttons at the wrong place, but I'm learning, but I love my recliner, and you have a great selection.
You come full circle. You're amazing. So, yes, we do carry the largest selection of motion furniture, and we have sofas, love seats, individual recliners, and You said it yourself, it's football season. You know, it's nice to have that chair where you can come home, relax for a few hours, watch the ball game. We have these power recliners, just as you got, where you can adjust the footrest just as you like, recline the headrest, you can adjust the headrest. Some of these even have massage options or lift options. But for the women, even to be able to recline the chair, fall asleep, and wake up and have the chair be in the same position without having the kink in your neck. You know, these chairs are fabulous, and we carry many brands. We carry Southern Motion, we carry Lane, we cover Catnapper, just wonderful chairs, Zeb.
Catnapper, I have not heard of that. I like that.
Yep, they're great. They're American-made, and all of our chairs are, in fact, American-made. And these are chairs that you can come and buy, and, you know, with confidence, you know that they're going to be warranted. They're going to last a long time. But, Zeb, they are comfortable. I'm
going to tell you, man, they need to get in and see you and your very experienced staff at Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More at 459 Overland in Burley. Tell us the hours, my friend.
Zeb, we are open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturdays from 10 a.m. till 5 p.m.
All right. Happy football to you, Jeff.
Thank you, Zeb. We'll watch for you at the ball game, and let's hope for the very best.
Hey, God bless you, man. Thanks much.
Thanks, Zeb. Take care. Bye-bye.
Good buddy, Jeff over at Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More, 459 Overland in Burley. This must be a meeting of Mount Rushmore types here this morning. We've got old George, old JR, and I'll enter myself in the picture, old Zeb. There's a lot of gray hair in this room right now, boys. Well, George, not in your case. No hair. But anyway, JR and I'll take up the fight here. We're going to have these two gentlemen, I'm being really polite this morning, on our program in just a moment, talking about the third annual Patriotic Car Show coming up on this Saturday the 8th. So stay tuned. Right now we're going to send it back over to Wheels. We'll be back in about 3 minutes.
And now, back to Zeb at the Ranch on AM 1230 KBAR. To reach Zeb, call 436-2244 or toll free 1-866-927-4587. And now, here is Zeb Bell.
I have cleared out this whole half hour for these two gentlemen, these pillars of the community, to come on here, and because I think the world of them. First of all, my old, you can't put enough O's in it, old friend George Mass, and then a very nice gentleman, J.R. Strunk. How are you? Both of you pick up your microphones and say good morning. What's going on?
Good morning to you too, Zeb.
I have honestly missed giving you all kinds of grief.
Geez, does that mean I need to come over more, like maybe for supper or something?
Well, no, I don't want to go that far. I don't want you in my house. But I know you've been on a cruise and everything, and you've had a lot of fun this summer.
I have. I played really hard. Now it's time to buckle down and get ready for the...
Buckle down? You haven't seen the buckles on your shoes for the last 20 years.
Yeah. Anyway, got to get ready for the car show we got coming up this weekend.
All right, now what's JR got to do with this? JR?
Everything. Actually, what we do is George thinks
hold that real close.
George thinks up things to do, and of course he throws the ball in my court, and I have to do them all.
Are you kind of the clipboard receiver? In other words, when he writes something on the clipboard, he throws it at you?
Yeah, he don't write it. He just tells me, and he said, "Guess what I volunteered you for?"
Do you ever get sick and tired of being the straight man for this Laurel and Hardy routine here?
He's good at it.
No, I don't. Okay. We get along just fine.
I know you do.
He does. He comes up with some brilliant ideas now and again.
No, wait a minute, JR. You're a good guy. I really
see why
like
I like him, huh?
But when you mention the word brilliant and George in the same sentence, are you sure?
Well, I made a face.
Okay. All right. We've got the third annual Patriotic Car Show standing for the red, white, and blue. What does that mean?
That means that it's patriotic. We respect our flag. We stand for our flag. And it's to pay kind of tribute to our veterans also with this.
Now, this is third annual. Have you been in charge of this for all 3 years?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. I started it, and JR, bless his heart, jumped right in with it. So it's a Combat Veterans and a Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association.
Every time I think of the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association, I got to be honest with you, the first thing that comes to my mind is vroom, vroom, vroom. I love that.
Yeah, but they've and it's been an honor to do this. The city of Rupert and combat veterans, we couldn't do what we do without them, and then, of course, all of our sponsors.
Right. Now, give us kind of and either one of you switch off on this. I don't want George just to hoard the microphone. He's kind of greedy that way. But tell us what the day is going to be like for the Standing for the Red, White, and Blue.
JR, do you want to take that on your card?
Oh, look at that. All right, go ahead, JR.
Well, I'll tell you, first off, Zeb, if you recall, you come to the last one of the POW things, and I brought a bunch of hot rods in for you.
Yes.
So that was the first one. You're the one that actually caused all this trouble.
Well, I am.
So, yes.
That's what my wife says.
Yeah. And what we're going to have throughout today, Saturday, is going 100 miles an hour, trying to keep everybody, get them parked, set up the programs. We've got sponsors that's bought plaques. We're going to have a representative from each sponsor pick a car out and award them with that plaque. We'll do that about.
So is it going to be a judged event also?
No, sir, it isn't. It's going to be the people that bought the plaques from us are going to pick at the car they like. And so it doesn't make any difference. We've got Glendale Works bringing a couple of race boats. We've got Dallin and Missy Cantrell's bringing a older front engine dragster down. We got Ed Goodrich, if I can get him, he's trying to get his salt car, a race car. Races on the salt, and 250-mile-an-hour Camaro.
Wait, whoa. 250-mile-an-hour Camaro?
Yeah, and he's complaining because they're going fast enough. So,
have you ever driven one like that?
No, I haven't.
Do you want to?
No, not really. I like drag racing. So
now, I did not know that you could get. I'm going to show some ignorance here. I did not know there was a car of that nature, a Camaro, that could go 250 miles an hour.
Actually, his car is not as fast as some of them in his class. That's what he's working for now. He spent several years working on this car, improving the motor, improving the gear ratio, the tires, and everything else to make it go faster. And there's some of them that it depends on the engine size, and there's different things they change on them. But his particular class is, I think, around, if I remember Ed telling me, it was around 250 some miles an hour's record right now.
Oh, wow. That's fast in the Camaro. That's fast in anything on four wheels.
It is. And it's over like I think it's a 5 or 7 mile course. So
really?
Yeah. So it's pretty safe, actually.
Now, let me ask you, when you say course, I don't want to get off of our subject matter here, but is it a straight course or an oval? I would imagine you don't want to try to go on an oval.
No, it's racing on the salt down at Wendover, Nevada. And
wow.
It's a straight course. They got to paint a black line on the salt, and they follow the black line the best they can.
How many miles per gallon or whatever do they get off that dude?
Well, I don't know, but I'm sure that they use plenty.
Oh, my. So you're going to try to get that car here?
Yeah, he's trying to get it. He had some stuff. He raced it on Speed Week down there, and he's going to try to get it to us this weekend.
I'll bet you when they start that thing up, you could hear it in Sun Valley. It kind of like your bikes.
Louder than ours.
Really?
No, he can't even drive it down. It's geared so high to go that fast and stuff. And then,
well, the reason for that is there ain't a cop around that could touch him. For heaven's sake,
he don't turn very good. So
okay.
The whole weekend will be. The day will be really busy with like say getting that. We've got motorcycles coming in, boats, and we got a lot of people's called here recently, and I hope it's a successful event.
Well, George, it sounds like it's just going to be one great big party.
It is. It's a fun time. It's a family event. Also, this year we've had that set the cars up on Fremont Street in front of the Rupert Police Department and in front of City Hall, because
the cops want to know where everybody is.
Yeah, they've the Rupert Square is under renovation. Next year will be put back on the Rupert Square. So anyway, this year it's a little inconvenient, but it's still right there in the center of town.
Okay, so now it starts at 10 o'clock in the morning this Saturday.
Yes.
Right. Now, what you got an entertainment down here. What kind of entertainment are you going to have?
We've got Ken Mort down there. He'll be singing and DJing. And at 11 o'clock, the Wilson Theater, our organization sponsored free movies. It's a family-oriented movie. I cannot give the name out for legal reasons.
Oh, okay.
But it's a very recent movie that's really good.
Okay.
It'll be shown at 11 at 1 o'clock, and it's free to the public, and it's a must-see movie. It's a great movie.
Okay. And then vendors, like what kind of vendors?
We got vendors. This year I did a bunch of metal sculptures I'll be doing.
You do a pretty handy job at that.
Thank you. But anyway, we've got...
The reason I'm giving you that plug is because I got another idea for you.
Oh, boy. But anyway, Camille Mort is in charge of the vendors, and she's got a bunch of vendors coming in. We'll have the concession trailer down there.
Food?
Food. Hamburger and hot dogs.
Who's making the food?
We got Strawberry coming out of... Idaho Falls will be the cooking for us.
Really?
And Donna will be serving food out the window.
So you're going to have that great big food trailer there?
Yes.
That is a neat deal.
It is. It serves its purpose.
Absolutely.
Anyway,
you got your hands in so many things.
I know it, and I'm trying to back out, and I just don't seem to.
Oh, life's too short to back out. So you're going to have entertainment. You're going to have vendors.
Yes.
You're going to have food. I love that part of it.
Yep.
And you're going to have bikes and boats and cars.
Yes.
All this on Fremont Street.
On Fremont and F Street there in front of the City Hall.
Right in front of the cop station.
Yeah.
So if there's any altercations, it's a slam dunk.
Yeah.
Okay.
We ain't worried about that.
Not really. Now, what about sponsors? It takes a lot of great people to put this together.
It is. And Zeb, I do have to hit my sponsors. Our major sponsors is Mike Otley Trucking, City of Rupert, Rupert Police Department, Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association, and Rupert Veterans Memorial Incorporated.
Okay.
They're the major sponsors. Now we've had sponsors that is going to pick the cars out that's on the plaques.
Okay.
And that's going to be Ramsey Electric, First Federal Bank of Rupert, Hanson Mortuary Rupert, Wayside Cafe, Rocky Mountain Real Estate Broker, Rupert Sheriff's Department, Minidoka Memorial Hospital, Doc's Pizza Rupert, Rupert Fire Department, Grease Monkey of Rupert, Let's Ride, Burley Reminder, Mountain Transmission of Burley, and Stokes Equipment.
There you go.
Burley. They all donated to our cause to make this event.
Well, now, how many people are you estimating will be in attendance? I hope you have a gangbusters. The weather's going to be great.
Yeah, last year we had, I think it was 67 cars, something like that.
Wow.
And this year, the City of Rupert went all out on advertising to hit more people, so we don't know. We're hope we're just swamped.
So you and JR basically are the main cogs in the wheel?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And it's been pretty well greased.
Yeah, we come up with ideas, and then we just find people that volunteer to help.
Volunteer to help. Yeah, right.
Military style.
Military style. No, I think this is a fantastic event, and it's all free.
It is. It's all free.
Yeah.
It's all free. And I like to, and I really like to see the public come in. Christmas is around the corner. We got birthdays and holidays, what have you. Buy from our vendors and keep them coming in. They usually got good buys on it and pretty good stuff to sell.
Absolutely. You know, I've got to do a weather forecast, and then I want to come back, and anything else you want to add to this morning, feel free to do so. And I know you will, because when it comes to radio time, you like to take it up.
JR's better at it than I am.
Okay, hang on. I'll be right back. Scarrows Meats brings us the weather this hour at 331 North Road, Jerome. Number to call, 324-7657. Or you can go to their website, scarrowsmeats.com. Delicious. Don Scarrow and his crew at Scarrows Meats with the very best of all, like marinated pork ribs for only $1.99 per pound. All the different barbecue packages with beef, pork, and chicken. Absolutely delicious. Please get a hold of them today. Scarrows Meats in Jerome. And right now, here's Gina with the weather.
Possible thunderstorms are expected by early this evening. Here's a look at your weather forecast for Zeb at the Ranch. Looking at mostly sunny skies for today. Clouds are going to be rolling in by this afternoon, bringing along with it a possibility of some isolated showers and thunderstorms. Some of those storms could produce gusty winds. Mostly sunny skies. High of 90 is what we're looking at. And for tonight, isolated showers and thunderstorms possible before midnight. Gusty winds as high as about 30 miles an hour, expecting a low of 54. Tomorrow, sunny skies with a high of 87, overnight low of 54 by Saturday, mostly sunny and 85. And as we look ahead towards Sunday, mostly sunny and 80. That's your weather for Zeb at the Ranch.
Thank you, Gina. And the weather, of course, brought to you by our dear friends at Scarrows Meats. 331 North Road, Jerome, the number to call. Do it today. Do it today. 324-7657. And remember, Scarrows Meats changing the way we eat, one delicious bite at a time. JR, I want to give you some fair time here. I mean, when you're sitting with George, it's just monopolization of all the time and everything. Give us your thoughts about this red, white, and blue car show.
Well, it's needless to say, I'm fairly patriotic. I would think I even drive a red, white, and blue race car, so it's pretty important to me. And being a veteran and all, it makes a lot of difference to me.
Let me ask you, you when I first met you, you came over here one day, and I think you were on the air, and we were talking about an event, and we started talking about motorcycles, and I think it was the event we had in the city park years ago. And you've been real closely associated with speed all your life, haven't you?
Yes, sir.
What's the fascination?
I think it's like I've heard said about motorcycles and race cars both. If you don't understand it, I don't know if I could ever explain it to you. But like I've said, in that race car, when you're sitting dead still, and my little car will cover 60 feet, the first 60 feet in 1.5 seconds. That's I guess it's just a rush you get out of it. And
yeah.
I've done it for so many years.
I have had the opportunity in my life years ago. I did race stock cars a little bit. And the real angry white male came out in me, and I loved every minute of it. I'd go back to racing those stock cars again in a heartbeat. There's a lot of fun to that.
There is. The only thing wrong with toilet bowl racing is you drive around.
Wait, whoa, excuse me, what?
Toilet bowl racing.
Why do you call that toilet bowl racing?
You look at a racetrack, look at the top of a toilet bowl. I mean, round circles.
I take that as kind of an offensive remark, JR.
I'm sure it is.
Okay.
I've
been giving George all the hard time.
I know, but that's...
toilet bowl
I like to race
racing.
Straight. I go straight all the time.
You like to go straight?
Yeah. We tried that for a while years ago when Rupert had a track over there, and you work all week to get the car ready to go, and then you go out there and somebody tears it up, and then you work all week to get the car ready to go. And I can race the same car with the same paint on it with it, God willing. I can do it for years and years.
Yeah, but when the light turns green, you can blow the whole son of a gun up, too.
Well, that's true, too, but you can blow up one of them roundy cars, too.
Oh, roundy cars.
That'd be nice
my
there.
Goodness sakes. George, how did you get wrapped up in this? I didn't know that you were a car show enthusiast and all that kind of thing.
Years ago when I first started the Rupert POW MI programs over there to bring more people in, I brought in some cars, and that turned out real well, brought a lot of people in. So
really?
It's just, and I like them. My grandson and I, we put together a little 76 Mercury Comet.
I remember that car, and what a beautiful job you did on that car.
It is.
Or did JR do it?
No, I won't let JR next to it. He'll want to race it.
Whatever happened to that car?
I still got it.
You still got it?
Still have it. Yeah, it's my grandson's. He's told me, Grandpa, I want to put something together for you that you and I did. So when you're gone, I've got you with me.
Man, I'm going to tell you, you did a phenomenal job on that.
Thank you. And if I may, Zeb, too, we've had two big sponsors come in this year to help us.
Okay.
And that's the Connection Credit Union of Hayburn and the Burley Inn. The Burley Inn is offering discounts in all rooms to everyone that comes to this event.
Wow.
And so it's on our Idaho roll call, they copped a room for Marv Hagedorn when he come in. So,
well, good deal.
They've been really good, and the Wilson Theater coming aboard. So it's just getting bigger and better every year.
Well, I think this is going to draw a lot of people. And the weather forecast is going to be really conducive for 10 to 4 on Saturday, this Saturday, September 8th.
Yeah, it's family-oriented. You know, it's just come and enjoy yourself.
Well, I was having a good time talking to JR until he compared stock car racing with toilet bowl racing. I didn't like that at all.
Yeah, well...
but I will forgive him.
I'm not commenting.
I will forgive him if you'll drive by with his motorcycle and go vroom, vroom, vroom.
Well, what if you just come in, got a cookie in your yard and left?
Better not in my yard. I really like my lawn out there. No, but it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be appealing to a lot of people.
It does. It covers all age groups and all different people from different backgrounds,
Yeah.
The race cars is awesome. Some of the car shows, some of them is really decked out that's just got $250,000 in them.
Oh, my.
And others got these little farm boy cars that do the best they can.
Yeah.
And so it's they're all in the same class. Some just got more money is all.
Yeah.
But it's a fun event. We've got some coming in that's rustic. Some of them they pull in. They haven't got them running yet. So it covers all aspects of old cars.
JR, I was going to ask you, on behalf of the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Club, are you at kind of a constant membership, or are you getting a larger membership as the days and years go by?
Oh, we get larger all the time. It's a nationwide organization. An association is it. In fact, we got a couple chapters that's overseas right now.
No kidding.
Every state in the union's got. Well, I think the least amount is 3 that I know of right now. So every state unit's got combat veterans in it.
Now, all the members that ride with you, are they all motorcycle enthusiasts?
Yep. You have to have, in order to belong, you have to have a 214 that says you was in combat, not in the military, but in combat. And then you have to have a 500cc bigger bike. And most of them, like mine, are, they're up there, 1350 to bed. We got one that's probably 2100 cc.
2100 cc's?
Yeah, it's a little fast.
You could go from here to Taiwan in like 3.6 seconds or something?
Well, if you didn't get run over on the way.
Wow! That is a big machine. How many are going to be involved over there at this car show?
I hope most of them. We got... I got a lot of them's going to be over here tomorrow on this other deal where we lost that one of our riders went down. But
very sad, very sad.
Yes, and hopefully some of them stick around, help us out. We got my chapter's pretty big. It goes from Salmon, Idle Falls, Pocatello, Burley, Twin Falls. I got a pretty good sized chapter.
Now you guys are going to be going by my place here in the next day or so, right?
We'll be really close. We're going to be across the street over here in the lake.
All right. Well, you got to go right in front of my place to get to the lake, and just let me know the time so I can be out there with a camera. By the way, have you ever seen George on a motorcycle?
He's on a 4-wheeler because he's might fall off the other one.
Really, he's got training wheels.
Yes,
I see. Any words you'd like to use to rebut that before I close?
No, but you and I both ride one with training wheels.
I have to.
Yeah,
I have to.
Yeah, I had I can't call it a motorcycle. When I got out of the service, I had a little 250.
Yeah.
Honda, I think it was.
Oh, one of those little... one of those little bumblebee things?
Yeah, but I got out of the service, lived over at Rock Creek, and I rode it to Burley, and rode it back home and sold it.
Here comes George.
Just wasn't comfortable on it, and that's when you get hurt.
Yeah, I know.
So I got rid of it.
One last time, standing for the Red, White, and Blue 3rd Annual Patriotic Car Show. Going to be this Saturday on Fremont Street in Rupert. Going to be absolutely a lot of fun for the whole family from 10 to 4, right?
Yes, and Zeb, I do want to thank you for giving us airtime. It's people like you that help makes this event possible.
Well, I don't mind giving you the airtime, but you would think that maybe you would be the one providing either a cake or cookies, but you always end up taking food out of my house.
Your wife is a wonderful lady.
I know she is. Thank you. Appreciate both of you. JR, thanks for being here.
Appreciate you, Zeb.
All right. Thank you very, very much. Hey, before I let these guys out of the studio and we close down shop for this day, I want to tell everybody about our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, with the big fall tire sale going on right now at all 7 locations. You can save money, get the best of tires, all the different tread designs, everything for you and your driving safety and comfort. at your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. The best in brake service, highly trained brake technicians, front-end alignment, shocks and struts, batteries, but above all, the service they provide to you, the customer. Stop in and see Lane and Rupert, Dave on Blue Lakes and Twin, Mike and Buell, Mike and Jerome, the Twist family and Paul, Daniel on Poline in Twin Falls, and, of course, my old buddy Randy on Overland in Burley. The very, very best. Your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. Stop in, see them today. Okay, we're going to wrap it up and put it back in the box for this week. We're going to saddle the horse next Monday morning at 8:06 and ride for 3 hours right here on K-Bar, 12:30 a.m., and then streaming live on the internet, zebbell.com, all over the world. And if you would like to start subscribing to my blog, Cow Pies and Coffee Cups, go to zebbell.com, give us the address, we'll get it to you, all that kind of stuff. You know what to do. And don't forget, too, we always wrap the program up by saying the way things were or the way things ought to be. But we've also added something else to that, and it's true. The world needs more cowboys. Have a wonderful weekend. God bless you and your family. We'll see you Monday at 8:06.